Everyone, welcome to Offices Adda 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the area of accounting and financial management for bankers. So today I'll be taking up the module D again. So we are continuing with the module D series exclusively. This is the new syllabus that has been added, so I am continuing with this particular module so that you can get an expertise in this area exclusively, because I think you will find a lot of content on internet for the first three modules, but what about the fourth? So you can look forward to it, and if you like this particular session, then please go ahead and share it among your peers. And at the same time, if you like it, then don't forget to press on the thumbs up button. That is again a kind of motivation for me. So let's move on and talk about the topic in detail today. Acha, this is the first question. This is a question related to the area of capital budgeting. Okay, this is a question that would relate to your module C overall, but this has a little concept of module D. So let's talk about this hybrid question. The question says, which of the following is not true with reference to the capital budgeting? Capital budgeting is related to the asset replacement decisions. Cost of capital is equal to the minimum required return. Existing investment in the project is not treated as sunk cost, or timing of the cash flows is relevant. See, everything is correct. You need to know the timing, you need to have a capital budgeting in a proper way. Then at the same time, the cost of capital is extremely important as well. The point is, whatever you have already done, it is basically a sunk cost. If I have already bought a particular thing, then there is no need to think over it. Array, I needed it or not. Should I take over it or not? It's already done. If I have already taken a particular place on rent, now whatever I do on it would be the relevant costing. Whatever I have already done, that is, I've taken the place on rent already. So the entire rush dilemma is not related to what existing investment is already there. है ना? So the correct answer is, sunk cost means the cost which is already existing. It has already been done. So that is why it is something which has sunk, just like Titanic. That means it's already a past there. So this is not a question of something where you will have to ask yourself whether I should go for it or not. Next question. Which one of the following emphasizes the qualitative aspects of the working capital management? See, there are not three ways of looking at the working capital. In the accounting area, they say we have aggressive, okay, aggressive as well as conservative. Under aggressive working capital, we are like, array, I don't want to spend a lot of money on my working capital. I would like to reduce my money to the maximum limit. Now that is what they call it as aggressive working capital method. Under this, they want to save as much money as possible. While in terms of the area of on the area of conservative working capital, we are like, nay, we should have money in our pockets. What if the creator would come up and say, ma'am, give me the money and I don't have money in my pocket? How much stronger it would hurt me now. Think about it. He's standing there and asking me for 10,000 bucks. I'm like, no, sir, wait, I'll just get it. So the time that I'm going to spend on trying to get it, it's going to hurt my reputation in the market, that array, she doesn't even have 10,000 to pay right away. Now that's a negative point. That is why we want to have that balanced one. Either I think we should not be extremely aggressive or extremely conservative. You should always be in the middle. You're like, okay, whatever money I need, I should have that money. That is what we'll say, that this is a managed method. So in this case, which one of the following emphasizes the qualitative aspects? If we talk about the qualitative aspects, they do not take gross working capital. Gross is basically only current assets. Okay? Quick working capital, there is nothing sort of quick working capital that we consider there. While in terms of net working capital, you consider CA minus CL. That means on an average, on our current assets, if I spend 1 lakh rupees and the liabilities are of 40,000, remaining 60,000 is something that is my net working capital. Out of 1 lakh, 40,000 is given to the people, then remaining 60 is still in my hands. Okay, na? That is good even. Done? Okay, now the next point there. In this case, the correct answer would be net working capital. They do not consider the entire working capital. They exclusively consider whatever current assets are there and we reduce the current liabilities out of it. Next question. Which one of the following is not a feature of budgetary control? What do you mean by budgetary control? It's a tool for management control, an instrument of delegation and authority, an instrument of evaluating the overall performance, and a statement of budget and forecast. When we talk about this area, what should we do right now? See, the budgetary control is basically a method of planning in advance. What are we going to, what kind of expenses are we going to have in future? What kind of things are we going to face in future? So in this case, what would be the correct answer? In this case, if we talk about which one among the following is not a feature of budgetary control, it's a tool of management control. Indeed, it's an instrument of delegation authority. Everybody comes to know their expense and how do they have to control it. An instrument for evaluating the overall performance. Correct. So in this case, it is a statement for budgets and forecasts is not that way. Okay, it includes everything that we are dealing with in terms of the people there. Acha. Now, budgetary control can simply be stated as something in which we are looking forward towards forecasting our future, and allocation of funds would be based upon that. Okay? Next question. Section 80 GGC of Income Tax Act is section 80 is all about the deductions which are there in terms of, see, the income tax department says you can make expenses, but there is a certain part of the expense. If you spend this much amount of money in the areas where we state, then there is no problem. If you spend this money into areas where we haven't told you, then we will not consider it as a tax saving method. Tax saving is nothing but the places where we will tell you where should you put your money to get the maximum tax saving method. Okay? So section 80 GGC of the Income Tax Act is about in respect of the scientific research. It is based upon the contribution given by any company to the political parties, by any person to political parties, or deduction in respect of rent paid. It is basically, see everyone, it is deduction in respect of contribution given by any person to a political party. So in this case, if you give money to a political party, then that would be considered, and that money would be considered as something that you have given as a donation, and you are not enjoying that money. So you don't have to pay tax on that money too. Okay? That's the point regarding 80 GGC. Now comes the next point, everyone. Which one of the following state taxes have not been replaced by GST? Number 1, luxury tax, purchase tax, special additional duty of income tax, or customs there, and tax on lottery. Which one among the following can be stated as the taxation which has not been replaced by GST? It is still there. The kind of tax which is still there and has not been replaced by GST is taxes on lotteries, betting, as well as gambling. These taxes are still there. More or less, most of the taxes have been replaced because income tax department or the other departments, I would say, not the income tax, I would say, all the indirect taxes which were existing earlier, they had been merged into one nation, one tax concept, and they called it goods and service tax. Luxury tax, purchase tax, special additional duty, these are all gone now. They are all applicable in terms of the era of GST. Okay? So in terms of the special additional duty, it is now IGST there. Then in terms of luxury tax was already gone. It was earlier covered in the era of wealth tax too. Now it's gone right now. Purchase tax used to be considered under the era of I would say this is in part of this is in you will find luxury purchase tax in the era of VAT, CST, based upon whether it is something that you will find in terms of interstate as well as intrastate, because that is you can sell things within the organization and outside the organization too. So in this case the correct answer would be D, taxes on lotteries, betting as well as gambling. Next point. Which two of the following are correct about TDS certificates? Among the following, which one is true about the TDS certificates? Is it TDS on salary payment, Form 16, then TDS on non-salary payment, Form 16A, then TDS on rent, that is 16B, or TDS on sale of property, 16C? Among the following, which one is correct? It is actually 16A and 16, Form 16. Form 16 is related to the salary payment, and for the non-salary it's 16A. Rest everything is not true. In this case, for the rent it's 16C, sale of property it is 16B. So first two are correct. These forms are important because if you are filing your income tax return, even these are done through these only. So technically an important area to look forward to. Next question. The sequence isn't the one that you can see there, so just removing it. Which one of the following items is now allowed as a reduction while computing income from business and profession? Fees paid towards the lawyer for drafting partnership deed, to loss towards due to embezzlement of by an employee, then legal expenses as well as the cost of installing a new phone. In terms of this area, due to embezzlement is allowed, legal expenses to protect the building allowed, cost of installation of a new telephone, this is also a part of the area of installation of phone is to be considered in the area of capital expense. It's not a business expense. And the last one is fees paid to the lawyer for drafting partnership deed. As such, the correct answer here is fees paid to the lawyer for drafting the partnership deed, because I think I would say that the legal expenses which you have paid for your business and profession, this is done before the organization was made. So technically this should have been done long back, before the organization came into being, and before applying for the particular area of even PAN card, before you existed in the eyes of Income Tax Act, you had your business. So that is fees paid to the lawyer for drafting partnership deed. Next question is related to the area of bin card. Bin cards are used in inventory control. You want to know, keep a check of whatever is happening in the organization, what is there in the warehouse, what is not there in the warehouse, is it a safety or not? That is bin card. Quantitative as well as value wise records are maintained, issued as well as the balance is there. Quantitative record of the material received, issued and balance, and then value wise material received, issued and balance, or the next is a record of labor attendance. Bin card would note the value of the quantity as well as the area of issue balance. Whatever we already have, what is the one that we are issuing further. So I would say the correct answer would be B. They maintain a quantitative record of material received, issued as well as balance. Okay, it is B. Next is in element wise classification of overheads, which one of the following is not included? Fixed overheads, indirect labor, indirect material as well as indirect expenditure. Fixed overheads in terms of element wise description there, which one among the following are not included? I think the odd man out is fixed overheads, because everything relates to the direct as well as indirect costing. Direct costing is the one that directly relates to the production, and the indirect ones are responsible for telling people that we are bringing up a very good product in the market, and that particular product is saleable and it is of good quality. These things are told under this area. Okay? Done, everyone? Okay. Then next question. Dash is a detailed budget of cash receipts as well as cash expenditure, incorporating both the revenue and capital items. Cash budget, then capital expenditure budget, sales budget, and overhead budget. If we talk about the dash is a detailed budget of, this is budget exclusively relating to the area of cash only. Nothing else. I'm sorry. So the correct answer in this case would be cash budget, because that includes only the inflow as well as the outflow of cash. I'm sorry. Next question. In case of a make or buy decision that relates to the area of make or buy decision, it is profitable to buy from outside only when the supplier's price is below the firm's own. Fixed cost, variable cost, total cost, or prime cost. If we consider this, it would be variable cost, because fixed is already given, it is already going, so it doesn't matter. We are worried about the variable cost, not the fixed cost. Okay, before that I think I would end. I think let me just give you a particular brief about the cost. Fixed cost would remain the same for n number of outputs at a given point of time. Variable would vary because this is given per unit. You increase the number of units, this will also increase. Fixed would remain the same for n number of units at this point of time. You make 10,000, you make 20, you make 40, it is going to be the same. Okay? And last is semi-variable, in which one part is fixed and one part is variable. That is why it is called semi-variable. For example, telephones there, earlier what used to happen is, in terms of our phones, landline numbers and all, that is something that is fixed. You have to pay this much amount of money as landline number for that, all that, you have to pay the amount. Then the area of they included rental amount as well as usage amount. Rental amount is a fixed part, while the calling that we do is a part of variable cost. So they had semi-variable. Okay, so it can be based upon these things as well. Now I can say I finished off this particular topic. Right now, if you haven't taken up any of the courses yet, then hurry up. This is the perfect time, because ultimately currently the prices are low. Okay, so then let's move on. There it is, you have to go on to our website and you will have to click on the area of JAIIB and CIB. This is where you have to go to our website there. Check at www.adda247.com. On our website, you have to go on to the area of JAIIB and CIB. There in the area of JAIIB, October 2023, you will find all our classes. This is our English medium batch, the Sankalp batch I was talking about. All you need to do is click on the area of buy now, use the code PREP80 and get the maximum discount. Okay, there is some issue there, but you can use the code PREP80. You will get the maximum discount in this area up to 81%. So you can look forward to that as well. Along with this, in this particular class, you'll get 200 of online classes, 142 test series, along with 181 ebooks. So I would suggest you that whatever you are looking forward towards the examination, you'll find everything from pin to an elephant there in terms of their preparation would be there through our notes and everything else itself. It has been prepared that way only, so that you can read it on the last day. Okay, so if you're preparing for it, then kindly go ahead and check it out in our app or on our website.